Buongiorno, everybody, and welcome to Cooking and Eating Healthy with Anna. Today we're going to be making cod piccata, garlicky roasted broccoli, and I tried something a little different today, cabbage fritters. It's supposed to be done with cabbage and carrots, but carrots are very high in carbs, so I did it with cabbage and zucchini. They came out really good for the first time I've tried it. So the first thing we're going to do is rinse. We have 18 ounces of codfish. And we're going to rinse it well and pat it dry really, really well, because that makes a difference in the cooking. And then in a little bowl here, I have mixed almond flour and salt. The almond flour I have is 3 tablespoons and a half a teaspoon of salt. And we're just going to take it, mix it, and then just pat it dry on top of your fish. And we're going to do both sides with that. So just take it and turn it over and do the other side. Once this is done, we're going to put it in a frying pan with 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And you're going to brown the cod a couple of minutes on each side, just till it's brown. And then you're going to take it out and put it aside. And then we'll make the piccata sauce. So that will be done with that. Now we're going to talk a little bit before I put this in about the garlic. In the garlic, we have 1 pound of broccoli, and I do the florets. I do it fresh, but I just use the top part. 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon cider vinegar, 5 teaspoons of minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, the crushed red pepper flakes. And I put it in a baggie like this. I mush it all up and I let it sit on the counter. Then you would take your cookie sheet, line it with parchment paper, and spread your broccoli out, single layer. We're then going to put it in a 450 oven for 12 to 15 minutes. And let me put that in now. I've got my oven going. And I'm going to time it for 10 minutes and then I'll test it. Now, we're going to put on the burner. And in it I have a tablespoon of olive oil. And we're going to lay the cod in here once the oil's a little hot. And we're going to cook it on one side, 2 to 3 minutes per side, okay? And then you'll remove it and you'll put it on a dish. Then you'll make your sauce. So let's get this a little hot. Okay. So we combine 3 tablespoons of almond flour and a half a teaspoon of salt in your mixture. That's the top. And then we're just going to lay this in. Lay it in your pan. Now don't forget, this is going to shrink, so that's why we do 18 ounces. 9 ounces, figure 2 ounces will shrink. You'll end up with 7 ounces. Okay, we're going to let that cook for a couple of minutes. And I'm going to talk to you about the shredded cabbage. With the shredded cabbage, I took 1 head of cabbage, shred it down, and then 2 medium-sized zucchini. I also shredded that. I took mine, put them in cheesecloth after I shredded each one, and I squeeze it really, really dry. And then put it in a bowl. Do 3 scallions sliced thin, throw that in. 5 ounces of egg beaters, 4.5 tablespoons of the almond flour, and 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. You're also going to put in seasoning, which would be 1 teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of black pepper, a half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. If you don't have smoked, use regular. A half a teaspoon of ground coriander. And I take parchment paper and I line a baking sheet and I spray it with avocado oil and spread it on before you put your before you mix your zucchini mixture that I just gave you. Don't worry about the eggs settling at the bottom. You're not going to mix it constantly because it'll draw more water out of the vegetables. So you're just going to take a spoon and stir it up. Good. And then you're going to make little balls. I took a small ice cream scoop and I scooped them out. And I got small, as you can see, zucchini. There's the zucchini fritters. And they come out adorable. And I took the small one, not the big scoop. And you put those across. I got 30 out of mine. So I used 3 cookie sheets. And you're then going to bake it for 400 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes. Everybody's oven works differently. So, you know, I did mine for 10 minutes and then I put it on broil for a minute just to get it a little bit crispier. And that was it for the fritters. You take it, you do that, and then you just take it and plate it. Okay? So that, on that, for the, oh, I also added a half a cup, I'm sorry, of Parmesan cheese. It didn't call for it, but I threw it in. It tastes much better. You could also put, in place of the cheddar, you could use Parmesan cheese, you could use cheddar cheese if you'd like, but that's a half a cup. So you would get 15 servings. I got 33 pieces. So mine came for 4 servings. You'd probably get 0.8 fats, 1.14 condiments, and 0.04 of your leanest. And that would be for that. Now I'm going to take my spatula and I'm going to see how this is doing. Not brown yet. We're going to do this till it's lightly brown in the pan. And the garlicky broccoli, we'll talk about that. So on the broccoli, we did in a baggie 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of cider vinegar, 5 teaspoons of minced garlic, a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon of red crushed pepper flakes, and I'm going to put a squeeze of a lemon on top of mine when it's all cooked, not in the mix. And you'll get 4 servings, 1.5 fats, 2.6 condiments. We're going to cook it at 450 for 12 to 15 minutes. So that takes care of that. Right now we're working on the piccata. This is good. So we're just going to take this and flip it. Be careful because it does come apart easily. Yeah, 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Then we're going to take it and plate it after the other side is cooked. And then we're going to make our sauce. In our sauce, we have 1 tablespoon. In the sauce, we're going to do a 1/2 cup of chicken stock, and I make my better than bouillon chicken stock. 2 tablespoons of capers, rinsed and drained well. 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and a 1/2 tablespoon of dry parsley after at the very end. So once this is done, we'll do our piccata. And with your thermometer, it'll be, your fish should register about 140. Now let's see how that's doing on the bottom. Just a little bit more. And this will be a delicious meal. I was very surprised about the zucchini and how they came out. I mean, the cabbage zucchini fritters. They came out very good. And you could do them ahead, do them that morning, and then put them in the microwave. So I'm going to give Joe would like 4. So I'm going to give Joe 4 of them. And I'm able to have 4 also. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to get 4 for myself. They are delicious. And you could put Russian dressing on them. You could put G. Hughes Polynesian sauce on them. So we're then going to just take these right now, just put them in the microwave. I'm not going to turn the microwave on though. Okay, now I'm going to plate the cod. You want to be careful not to break it up too much. Try to get it out whole if you can. Not always possible with fish. Okay, we're going to just set that aside. And then we're going to stir up our bouillon, chicken better than bouillon that I made. And this is a 1/2 cup. This is going to be your sauce, your lemon juice, and your capers. And you're going to cook that, scrape off everything from the bottom, because you want all those bits in there. And you're going to let your sauce come down till it reduces by 1/2. So we're going to let this sit on here for a minute. Seeing all those little bits I'm scraping off, because that is all delicious stuff. You don't want to lose that. And turn it on medium and just let it cook down a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to check my broccoli. See how the broccoli's doing. Couple of more minutes and the broccoli will be done. And now I'm going to check with my thermometer to see what the cod is. Okay, let's turn it on. Go to the thickest part of your cod, and it should register 140. Okay, this is not 140. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into the sauce and let it cook with the sauce. And you could do that. That's why it's so important to get your thermometer. Or just put all that right back in. Put this over here. And we'll let that cook down a little bit. I have to say, these were very good and a big surprise for us. When they talk about doing it, they talk about shredding it thick. I shred it fine and squeeze it out with cheesecloth, all your juices from the zucchini and the cabbage, and you won't get any problem. And this is doing nicely right in the sauce. And I also have my little vegetable medley that I do in one of my other programs. And I'm going to put that on top of the cod once the cod is done. We'll check that again. Ah, much better. Much better. Okay. All right. Let me wipe this off. And we'll put it right back in here. This is a great little thermometer. You never go wrong with it. It's a rotating backlit display, improved. It's ThermoWorks. That's the name of it. Now we're going to put this on the plate. I think maybe it's almost better if you put it back in. That way you got it nice and hot. And then we're going to put the sauce on top. And we're going to put our micro on. I'm going to take my spoon and shut off the sauce. And we're going to scoop up all that delicious stuff. And we're going to put the sauce on top of the fish. Oh, how nice that looks. Okay. And then we're going to check on our broccoli. That should be done by now. Perfect. Okay. And we're going to take this. The broccoli on. A half a cup is 1 serving. And now let me get the other things from the microwave. I'll be right back. And we're going to take the vegetable medley. I still had some of that for the week. Doesn't this look delicious? And now we have our cabbage fritters that we're going to plate. And we also grew little lemons in the house, Meyer lemons. So I'm now going to take that Meyer lemon, cut it, and I'm going to use that today. Let me cut that. Go over the broccoli and the fish. Put a little bit on the broccoli and a little bit on the fish. Oh, that Meyer's lemon looks so good. And that is our dinner. It is cod done with the medley of relish, the broccoli, garlicky broccoli, and the cabbage fritters, cabbage zucchini fritters. And that's it for the session of Cooking with Anna. Thank you. Buon appetito.